Okay, this is the third rule briefing for the Dart Valley, and we'll be having a look at reinforcements, replacements and stacking. While we're here, we might as well look at zones of control as well. Now, for reinforcements, what comes with the game, there is a reinforcement schedule, but it's not particularly brilliant because it's not visual. Whereas if you go into Board Game Geek, you can print off these things, which are really good because they present everything in a nice visual way, and you can see your reinforcements and your replacements, etc., in the same place. If we look at reinforcements, incoming units, turn, nothing particularly clever about that. There are units that are removed, the units that upgrade from, say, motorised to mechanised with these little arrows here. There's units that come in on the Soviet side which require conversions. A little conversion table that shows you, for example, you've got to sacrifice 3 divisions to create one of these 4-4 rifle corps. Some of your special counters are also shown here when they come in and when they go, and it also gives you a rules reference, so that's really good. In terms of reinforcements, the Soviet stuff, you basically just got to put it in a city or town. These are towns, these are cities in the Soviet Union. There is a restriction on putting units into towns which are next to supplied German units with zones of control. In terms of stacking limits are enforced for reinforcements. So the stacking limits are, you can basically build 4 units, which let's forget core. Well, yeah, you can put 4 units, a maximum of 4 units in a hex. So that can be 4 divisions, or it can be a combination of a maximum of 2 armies and 3 corps. So you could have 3 corps and 1 division, or you could have 2 armies in a hex. We can have various combinations. You could have an army and 2 corps and a division, or whatever, so long as you don't exceed the limit of 4. If you ever get into a situation where you are overstacked, you've got to eliminate the overstacked units. In terms of the Germans are able to place reinforcements into cities in Greater Germany, which is anything within this boundary here. So basically occupied Poland, Germany, East Prussia. Minor nations can also place units onto the board as reinforcements. Hungarian units got to be placed in any hex in Hungary. Romanians the same, any hex in Romania. The Italians are treated like German reinforcements. They either have to go into Greater Germany, or like German reinforcements, you can place them directly into these supply depots. So that's really handy. In terms of replacements, the Germans and the Soviets are handled slightly different. Germans have like a fixed number of replacements that come in. Sometimes they'll get infantry replacements, sometimes they might get infantry and armour, other times they might get nothing. Whereas the Soviet replacement system is slightly different. Soviet replacements, what happens is you get replacement factors. You'll get 5 replacement factors for every one of these towns you control. Say towns, cities, so it's Leningrad, Moscow, Engels and Stalingrad and Kiev. If you lose one of these cities, you lose its 5 reinforcement factors. Soviet reinforcement factors are used to buy combat factors. So if you put this 5-4 unit onto the board, it costs you 5 replacement factors. If you put its reverse side in, it would cost you 3 replacement factors. Okay. Germans are slightly different as they come in as steps. So if you've got 2 infantry steps, they coming in as replacements, you can either put 2 half strength infantry here in for a cost of 2, or you could put a full strength unit in for cost of 2. Okay. There's not a great deal more to say about that reinforcements and replacements. I've mentioned stacking. The other thing I was going to talk about is zones of control. Units don't have zones of control unless they have a hex around their combat factor. Now, some units, like these rifle armies here, they will only have a zone of control when they're full strength. If you flip it over to its half strength unit, that hex disappears and that no longer has a zone of control. Zones of control can vary during weather. Poor weather is particularly nasty on the Germans. A lot of their mechanised units lose their zones of control. Mechanised units I've already described are the ones with the white circle around the movement factors there. So those are mechanised tanks, but they can be motorised units, mechanised units, armoured units, and even artillery units are all considered to be mechanised in this game. Main effects of zones of control is they cut lines of communication, they cut lines of supply. They can be overridden. If you have a friendly unit in a hex, it negates the enemy zone of control. If you enter an enemy zone of control, you must stop movement. So they're great ways of creating a sticky front where you can control how big a breakthrough units can make by judicious placement of your units as zones of control. And that's pretty much it. We have to go any further with any of this.